Hi, everyone. I'm jumping in here exactly at 11 o'clock. I'm getting ready to do a little slideshow of the power of testimonials, which is powerful. So hop on in. I'll wait a few seconds here just to get you all in here. I'm trying something new. So do you see I'm part of the presentation here. Interesting that it still shows me up there in the top, but let me know how this works. And let's see if you can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me. You can hear me. Okay. So let's get going. I want to talk about the power of testimonials. I have a few slides I want to show. It's just easier. You could take screenshots along the way. But I'm going to skip around. I'm not going to do the whole presentation, but just really the important parts for you that you can take away and use immediately. Okay. So let me see how this works. So you go like this. Okay. So let's talk about testimonials. There's no better way to get your clients or new clients than to show social proof that your program works. People love testimonials. They're also called reviews. They're called now client success stories or case studies. People gobble it up. And you know what? You post those and you let your testimonials do the selling for you. They validate your program. Okay. So let's move on. So they provide evidence and confirmation that your program works or that you're legitimate, right? That you're credible. They provide social proof from the community of, who you're interacting with, your ideal clients. It also will bring down the objections. People will object and, they'll read a testimonial and right away, it'll take away one of their objections, like, I can't do this, or I can't afford this. Or if somebody writes, you can't afford not to, or I thought I couldn't do this and look what I accomplished. That will take away those kind of general everyday objections that we hear out there when we're promoting our programs. Okay. It also will take away any kind of doubt testimonials. And what they do is it drives your conversion. So you want to be using them as part of your marketing strategy to move forward with your business. So again, powerful. I like to call them now success stories. It's less kind of clinical for me, but you've got to ask for them. Most, people, like right now, I just went to the dentist. Okay. And already I got, via text, would you mind rating us? Would you provide us with a testimonial? Would you tell us how our service went? So now dentist office, they have an automatic way of doing it. Now, if you're big, you can get one of those services and you can hook it up. But if you're just starting out, you have to ask for the testimonial. Okay. And people are kind of expecting you to ask for the testimonial. So don't be shy. Definitely ask for them. So how do you collect them? So first of all, if you're starting out, you want to have a tracking system. So let's say you have a 3-month program. Okay. What I like to do is every 30 days, ask for a testimonial. Okay. Where are they now? How are they doing? And then another 30 days, another testimonial or, accomplishment. What milestones are they hitting? What mini wins are they hitting along the way? And then of course, one at the end. There's all stages of the relationship with you through your program, and your program is not just like they go through 90 days and then there's a result. There's results that are occurring, mini wins, like what I like to call them, along the way. So you want to be asking for what are these mini wins that people are going through. Okay. So definitely track this. I personally like to ask for them individually or privately. So I would go into, Messenger with my private clients and ask them specifically. I also have pre-written questions that go out, and I'm going to share those with you at the end. So stay tuned. The other thing, though, when I don't do it privately is if I'm holding a workshop or a challenge And I may say, if you leave a testimonial or a review of what you accomplished over these 3 to 5 days with me, I will put your name in a hat to receive XYZ, and I'll draw out a winner. That'll get people to leave testimonials for you for your workshops, your challenges, your master classes, things like that. Okay, so that's something I may post, which is not private, it's public, right? So the idea is you want to extract the detailed information from them of where they were prior to working with you and where they are now. Okay, so you want them to identify in that testimonial the state they were in, why they hired you to do what, and where are they now, the outcome or the results. And you want, why would they recommend you? Like, why, right? Okay. So what I do is I keep a file of all my testimonials on my, in my Word or Microsoft somewhere. So I have a little file, and every single testimonial that I collect goes into this file, because you want to start building a chest, a vault of testimonials that you can use over and over and over again as you promote your programs and services. So screenshot everything and then download it into a file. So it's really record and save. Take the time to do this. So what are some great questions to ask? Now, it looks like I just lost. Oh, there we go. Hi there. If you're just hopping on, say hi. And if you're watching the replay, just say #replay so I know who's here. So take these questions down. Either take a screenshot or jot them down. But these are great 8 questions to ask. I don't sometimes ask all of them at once, but these are generally what I teach in my program. So the first one is, what made you decide to hire me? So I want to know, like, where were they, right? Number 2 says, what were you struggling with or the challenge by prior to enrolling in my program? Okay, so I want to know point A, where were they? And I also want to know, how did they try to fix it in the past? So they would say, I tried so many other coaching programs, or I tried to do it on my own, so they're speaking to the emotional frustration of where they were prior to hiring me, where most people are, who I want to, enroll into my program. So I want them to talk about that. And I want them to talk about why they think it didn't work out. What was missing for them? Okay, that's what I'm trying to draw out. So how would you describe the entire experience with me in detail? So I want them now to describe working with me. Okay, and they will, give some adjectives or some verbs of what it's like working with me. Okay, then I want them, if they can, what results has this program helped them to produce? So I'm looking for specifics. So anything about numbers or money, like how much money they have made working with me, or during that period of time when I'm getting the testimonial, or maybe it's numbers in how many clients they're bringing in, because I work with coaching clients. So obviously they want clients and they want their money income to go up. So those are 2 kind of, variables, measurable results that I'm asking them to give me when I'm asking them for a testimonial. Okay, that's gold. That's gold. So if you can solidify that with through a testimonial, it's gold. Okay, the next question, when you think about your business now, what are you most looking forward to in the future? Okay, so I want them to paint a picture of where they're going to, because basically our coaching programs are not just stagnant, right? They should be impacting their future, into a year, into 5 years, into 10 years. So I want them to visualize and write down, where do they see them going with their business? Okay, because that's me. Now, you may not be a business coach, you might be a health coach. So you may want to think, when you think about your health and well-being, what are you most looking forward to? or if it's your relationship coach, it might be when you think about your relationship with the person that you have attracted, what are you most looking forward to? Okay, so you want to modify this, customize it, these questions for your own. Okay, and it's really just a couple of tweaks here and there with these words. Number 7, what would you tell people that are on the fence, who are on the fence, about purchasing your program? Okay, so what you're trying to get from them to say, you guys, if you're on the fence, you need to jump into this. Okay, that will help people that are procrastinating or that are actually on the fence, right? They're on the fence, make the leap into your program. Okay, and it creates a familiarity with the person who is over here in point A, and needs to move to point B. And then anything else you want to add. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to have set questions, most people have no idea what to write when you ask for a testimonial. They're like, what should I say? You know, there are some people that will go on and on and on, and that's great. But for most people, we are so thankful if we get questions to answer, right? So I use these all the time, all the time. Okay. So where to use them? So you can use them, most likely what I use them is during a launch program, when I'm launching my business, when I'm opening up my cart, when I'm opening up my to a challenge, to a workshop, or promoting my program and services. I will use them and sprinkle them into my Facebook group and personal page so people know what's going on. Like, I've got results, okay? So that's really the key places where I do it. But you can put them on, you can post them in Facebook Messenger, you can live stream them, you can talk about them on a consult call or a sales call, and you can talk about it. Well, one of my clients got XYZ, so you're not really posting it, but you're telling someone about a success that your client got, and you just use their words of describing what their success was. You can use them in your challenges, your boot camps, your workshops, in your emails. You can sprinkle them in. You can put them on your sales and registration pages so people see that, oh, we're stepping into something and a lot of people love this. Okay, so I use that also when I'm promoting a challenge. You'll see all the testimonials of people that have taken the challenge or the workshop and why they loved it. That will have people say, yeah, I want to get into this challenge or workshop. I also do it on landing pages when I'm promoting my programs and services. There's a whole section of testimonials, especially after you say the price. You want to soften the price with testimonials. It shows your credibility. It shows you're authentic. It shows that they can trust you. Okay. You also can put them on your websites or even on YouTube. Okay. Just use them. So what you're doing here is you're leveraging your client's experience. Okay. You're planting seeds in the mind of your next client. You're confirming outcomes that your clients have gotten. It's motivating and inspiring your potential clients to want to work with you. There is the trust and credibility, which is ding, 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 key. Trust and credibility is key to develop. And, this is one more way of showing that you're credible. Okay. You will stimulate growth in your business, and people will read your testimonials, any testimonials, before they consider buying. Think about it. Just think about it. You're buying a product online on Amazon. Okay. Don't you go through the testimonials? Don't you read the reviews? I do. I read everything. And not only do I read the good reviews, I read the bad reviews because I want to see what was missing from the product or the book or, whatever I am buying. Okay. Everybody reads testimonials. When you go and you want a new dentist, don't you read testimonials of the dentist services before you, set up an appointment? So you want to collect testimonials. People are checking you out. They're going to check you out every which way before they say yes to buy your services. Okay. So let's see. So I'm going to show you some ways to showcase yourself. Okay. So you can screenshot. This is a screenshot of someone. Okay. You can white out their name or red it out or black it out, whatever you want, if that's something that's important to you. A lot of people don't mind when they leave a testimonial, especially a video testimonial, they don't mind having their name shown. Okay. So it is great to screenshot it and keep a file. People will read these. Let's look at a different one. Here's one. Here's one from one of my clients, and she posted this a result, a win during my course. Signed a client with a 12-week package today. So she's letting us all know that she had a win. So that's a testimonial. It's showing the success of my program, and it'll show the success of your program. Here's one. What I did with this one is she wrote a testimonial. This program is phenomenal. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope you can come aboard. And then what I did is I kept my name underneath because I want to prove that this testimonial is for me. Okay, so I screenshot this and I left my results. So I commented back to her. Okay, so that was a way to get my name underneath her testimonial. And then I took a purple pencil, and I outlined how she felt, the emotion she felt about my program, which is key. Any kind of emotion around the program, around a testimonial, you want to highlight. Okay. This is a testimonial, a screenshot of just someone that just went live in my Facebook group and did a live testimonial. So those are great too. And that live testimonial is actually on a website, so people can click on it and actually hear the testimonial straight from her mouth. This is, I've done client interviews at the end of a program. Now, if I'm promoting a program, I may do a client interview at the end, which shows proof. I'll interview her and actually go through those 8 questions live online. So people that are in my program or are in my workshop or challenge are listening, and I'm promoting my program, are listening to one of my clients live. Okay, so that you can also do. Here's something I just made a call out post. It's a student win, 10-week program sold, another transformation about to happen. Here's another client interview screenshot. Here, these are from screenshots from my workshops. Here is, I took all the screenshots that I took from a workshop and I put them on a background in Canva, and I use it every time I'm going to promote a challenge or a workshop, so people know, oh, she's legit. She gets a lot of people on these workshops. Her stuff is good. Okay. Here is a great one. I mean, this one, she actually said, what it took in 8 weeks. She generated $10,000 working with me. So that is measurable results, right? Time and money. I love that one. This was just showing somebody hopped into my program. That is not a test. It's a testimonial that they trust me to get into my program. So there's many ways to do that. You can do it as a call out post. You could do it with a screenshot of their photograph and then just say that they're going into your program. You can do it in all different ways. Okay. So be creative, create your own style. Okay. You can mimic the way I do it, and then eventually you'll evolve into your own style. I'm all about imitation leads to innovation. Okay. Imitation to customize it into your own. Okay. Look at what's working, make it your own, and then you will innovate and create something of your own. Okay. I'm all about that. So who's on here? I'm going to see. Hi, Beverly. Good. I'm glad you're loving this. Okay. Now, this is key. This is gold. What I'm going to show you now is I went back to those interviews, those audios, and listened to how they described where were they at point A, okay, before starting with me. So I've listened to those interviews and I take down what they stated where they were out at, and then I write them down out here. Okay. Now, this will be great copy, great words, great content when I'm launching my program and I'm talking to people and I'll say, are you lost in business? Do you not know where to start? Are you clear on who you want to work with? Because this is what my clients have said where they were before they worked with me. And those are still the type of clients I want to work with. So I am just going to reiterate, this is my customer research, what they said in my sales copy. Okay. The same with moving them to point B. So I listened to the audios, those interview, and I pulled out on a piece of paper, as you can see here, all the results in their own words of where they're at after the program. So they gain confidence and comfort with what had to be done. Their business is booming. Every month gets better and better. Helped me to increase in my reputation. People trust me now. People know how to vet. I know how to vet clients. Decrease frustration. Feels propelled up. No stress. Know what to do every day. Paying attention to people. It goes on and on and on. So when I'm talking about the results that people get, I'm using the exact words that my clients are saying. That's the results. You don't have to make this stuff up. They're telling you what the results are of your program. Okay, which is great. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So you want to, use your clients' words in their testimonials and in your content, your sales copy, your promotional material. Your writing will speak directly to your next client. Okay, so I have questions. I'm going to stop sharing because I want to talk about another way. Let me see if I can stop sharing. How do you stop? Oh, here. No, that's ending. I want to stop the share. Oh, up here. Okay. Let me get rid of this. Okay. Can you still see me? How was that? When I learned this, I just I was like so excited. But what do you do if you don't have a testimonial and you're about to promote your program? Okay. Or you want to promote your program. Is there something in my hair? What do you do? Well, there's another strategy of what you could do. Or many of you have done clients, provided free services when you were doing your training, but those clients are long gone and you don't know how to reach them. I hear you. You need current testimonials. So this is what you do. You want to do a free session, a strategy call, or what I call a breakthrough session. Okay. You want to announce in your group, okay, where your ideal clients are, you're going to give away a free breakthrough session just with you for 5 people, only 5 people. Okay. And this is what you're going to help people break through with. And you're going to list 3 topics of which you will concentrate on. Now, these sessions are only 30 minutes. So 5 minutes of introduction, 5 minutes of wrap up. So really, once you hear what the person's struggling with and how you're going to give them a breakthrough, a transformation, a mini win in your session is only 20 minutes. So you're going to zip in and you're going to go right in like a surgeon and really help them get the breakthrough. Okay. The purpose of this is that at the end of this very focused 20-minute session, they'll have an aha, right? An epiphany, an aha. And you're going to ask them how was that for you? Can you work with that? Yeah. Would you mind leaving me a testimonial of this short mini session? And they'll say, oh, yeah. And then what I do is I generally say, great, I will send you questions I want you to answer and the link of where I want you to write this out on my business page. Now, why do I do it on my business page? Even though you know me, I'm not an advocate of business pages, because there is a place on our business pages where people can write reviews. So it's, you give them the link of exactly to the review page of your business page where they can write the reviews. And then can you answer these questions for me about the results you achieved in our 20-minute breakthrough session? Okay. So that's what I do. Okay. And they gladly do it. And then you can screenshot it over there and you can put it in your file. You can use it. And you want to get about 5 to 7 of those if you don't have any. And that will jumpstart you when you start to promote your program. Okay. Now, I say 5. And the reason why I say 5 is because we want to show that there's scarcity with your sessions. We don't want 20 people, because if people know 20 people, they're going to procrastinate and, they're going to say, oh, it's 1 in a million. There's nothing special about this. I don't need a breakthrough, blah, blah, blah. But if you show scarcity in your post that this is only for the first 5 people, okay, then people are going to jump. Okay, it'll get the procrastinators raising their hand quickly. Okay, you don't want this to drag on. This is only like the urgency. You want to show the urgency of this within 24 hours. Like, if you don't respond and connect with me, and I will share my link to my Calendly with you over in the DMs. If I don't hear back from you and you don't schedule in the next 24 hours, it's going to the next person. Okay, so you're creating urgency too. Okay, 2 great marketing strategies: create scarcity and create urgency. Scarcity to get people to jump on, and urgency to move those, get them into action. Okay, otherwise people just sit back and say, oh, I'll get to it later. All right, and you need these testimonials quickly. Now, let's say more than 5 people comment below. Depending on how much time you have, you can go ahead and book all, 10 of those people that comment before. If you want to get more testimonials, go for it. Okay, you decide, but don't let people know that you're opening it up to more than 5 people. You want to stay with the integrity of the call out. Okay, but you can definitely, send out private message people and say, somebody did not take their turn. I will give it to you. Here's my Calendly link. Go schedule your appointment with me and let's have that breakthrough. Okay. So that's definitely what you want to do. So you guys that are on here, do you have any comments? It looks like there's about 2 people on here. So let me know any comments about these kind of free strategy breakthrough calls. Go ahead and pop them below and I'll be happy to answer them. Now, the other thing I want to tell you guys about, oh my goodness, brand new. I created this brand new 3-day lead accelerator challenge. Okay, 3 days that you're going to learn how to generate leads online using Facebook. Now, what is a lead? A lead is your ideal client who's interested in what you've got to offer. This is what we want. Generating leads is the marketing term. You might hear it out there, but it's part of your marketing and sales strategy. You've got to master this little piece of the big picture. You've got to master it. Okay. It is the #1 challenge that coaches have on building their business online. So you're not alone if you don't know how to do this effectively. Maybe you're someone that has opened up a group and you don't know how to get more people in. Okay. Or maybe you don't even know where to start, how to find your ideal clients. Or maybe you don't know how to keep them engaged until they're ready to buy, because you've got to keep them warmed up and engaged until they're ready to buy. So I'm going to be going over this over those 3 days in the challenge. And listen, I started there too. I had no idea. Do you think I had any idea how this all worked 10 years ago when I started my entrepreneurial journey? Oh my God, the frustration and spinning out of control, trying every day, anything and everything, and throwing, mud up on the wall, hoping it would stick. Nothing worked until I learned the secret. And I'm telling you, it is so simple. It is so simple. If you just follow my lead. Okay. So I'm going to pull out my notes here. It's running. Mark your calendar, and I'm going to drop the link to register. You want to reserve your spot today. Okay. Even though it's like 2 weeks out, but reserve your spot today. Get it in your calendar. It's going to start on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days, August 24, 25, and 26. Same time as I do these live, 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. Okay, so check what time would that be for you, wherever you're located. Once you register, you'll be given you got to click on, because there's a new pop-up Facebook group. I'm pulling out and only going to be teaching the people that register. Okay, this is not for everybody, just for the people that register that need to learn how to generate leads online using Facebook. Okay, that's why I call it the 3-day lead accelerator challenge. Okay, and I'll be doing it on Zoom, that you can hop on live with me and can ask questions live. Isn't that great? Oh my God, live questions. You don't have to post them below and have this it's hard to back and forth. We'll have a conversation live as we're going. Okay, so day 1, which will be Tuesday, we're going to be setting the stage for a rush of leads pouring in. Okay, once you learn the strategy of how to generate 5 to 10 leads a day, or more, okay, there's going to be a rush of people coming in. So how are you going to handle it? Okay, you got to be set up, ready to go. Then I'm going to teach you on day 2 how to warm up your leads, your ideal clients, okay, until they're ready to buy. You got to keep them engaged. How are you going to keep them engaged? Okay, some people will buy right away, other people's wait 3 months, 6 months, a year. How are you going to keep them engaged? Because they're in this lead stage. They're interested, but they're not yet buyers. You got to keep them engaged until they're ready to buy. Okay, so we're going to talk about all the ways you can do that. And then the third day is the actual process of how to go out and generate leads. Okay, where do you find your ideal clients, where they're hanging out, and how do you do it? And I have 3 strategies that you can mix and match that will help you generate leads. And then, you can deviate, so you're not just bored with one way. Okay, so those are the 3 days. You pretty much, you cannot make a decision not to register for this challenge if you do not know how to generate leads online. Okay, this is for you. You want to reserve your spot today. I'm going to drop the link below. I probably will put it in the description box above. Get it into your calendar: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, August 24, 25, and 26. And yeah, so this is going to be epic. It's going to be epic. I've never done something so focused on a piece of the marketing strategy. Okay, so you don't want to miss out, unless you have an abundance of leads and you're making sales galore, then this is not the training for you. But everybody else that's reading, here in my group, this is 80% of the people in this group say that's their number 1 challenge, is generating leads online. So let's master it. Absolutely master it. Okay, so let me see, what else do I need to tell you? Anything else? No. And you know what? Once you learn the secret of how to do it, you'll have a ton of leads to sell to, for sure. Okay, you guys, have a great rest of your day today, on Wednesday. And where to find me. You can hop over to Messenger, message me if you have any questions, pop them below. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Bye.